Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my updated Silver Thorn Pale Moon deck. So since I updated the Magia deck, I might as well update the Silver Thorn one. So this one mainly got some changes to the G unit structure, or I guess the different ones. And I did change the lineup a tiny bit just to test it out. And Silver Thorn surprisingly does very well in casual play, but it can also do pretty good against some of the bigger decks. It's surprisingly strong for what it is. I remember when Legion format was new and everyone was going Legion, and this deck didn't get a good Legion until the promo came out, but Silver Thorns didn't really fit too well with the Legion that Pale Moon got. Instead, pure Silver Thorn people were stuck with Silver Thorn the whole time, and they've actually done really well during Legion format, and they did really well during the current format as well. So start off for Silver Thorn, Dragon, Empress, Venus, Luquier. So this is the main go-to Vanguard that you want to sit on most of the game. The best alternate one would be Silver Thorn, Dragon Queen, Luquier, Reverse. This one works very well with a Limit Break Enabler because you can be at 1 damage to do the skill. This one also does work very well with Limit Break Enabler as well. The only problem is sometimes in the early game, the soul may not be set up properly to take advantage of Limit Break. So the nice thing about this card is that it does soul charge too, but again it's blind soul charging, which is not that optimal. And then of course the last grade 3 is the original Luquier, Silver Thorn, Dragon, Tamer. Luquier, so 2 of her, primarily, you don't want to ride this card because it's a 10k and it has very hefty limit break skill, but it does gain 3k every time something's called from the soul, and so with Zelma you can potentially loop her to get some pretty decent Vanguard column numbers, but like I said, you really still don't want to ride this. The main reason why we run 2 of it is to be able to search it with the starter Emile or Emile, and then put it into the soul so you can get the cross ride for either of these 2. So these are the main. So you have like 6 normal target and then 2 that you don't really want to ride. So that's the grade 3 lineup. For the grade 2s, of course, I'm sticking with my 4 Silver Thorn Upright Lion. It's really good at gaining a lot of power. It can easily be 15, 18k, even 21k on its own. In typical games, I've seen this usually be 21k by itself without the booster, and then with the booster, it's usually swinging for like 28, and then sometimes it can become 31. But it's a little bit rare, but it can happen. Next, 4 of probably the best grade 2, or maybe the second best grade 2, depends on which one of these you value more. But Silver Thorn Magician Clemens. Clemens is really good at reviving the Silver Thorn deck. The skill is very good. It doesn't have counterblast cost. Basically, this is your 11k grade 2 for the Luquier Vanguard. It does require a Luquier Vanguard, not a Silver Thorn Vanguard, to be an 11k attacker, but that's not a problem for this attack. And when its attack hits, you can put it into the soul and call something else out. So they're very good to combo this with Zelma, if you've got Zelmas in the soul. And then the only other grade 2 I'm running is my 3 Maricica, because she has that on-hit pressure Vanguard Overguard skill. She can rush early game as the Vanguard when they don't want to block, and then she'll be sitting in the soul later. So really good backup grade 2. There isn't really any reason to run the 12k. I've seen some people run the 12k in here, but I think her on-pressure ability in the early game is better, as well as the 12k isn't really needed anymore since Clemens is basically your 11k that has a much better on-hit skill. So that's the grade 2 lineup. I think it's pretty straightforward. That didn't really change. For grade 1s, I'm sticking with 4 Silver Thorn Hypnos Lydia. So some people like to run Dark Side Mirror Master, the Unflip Perfect Guard, because Silver Thorns can be counterblast heavy, mainly because of Venus Luquier being a special counterblast too. But again, it's special counterblasting Silver Thorns. This is a Silver Thorn. Everything in the deck is Silver Thorn, 100% Silver Thorn. You don't have to worry about that effect. So I just prefer to run the deck this way. She can also be used to perfect guard your rear guards because she's an original perfect guard. Next, 4, probably the most important card in the deck that makes the deck hold itself up with the rest of the better decks now, is Zelma. So you have to run 4 of these. It's like a must run at 4. Minimum is 4. If you run 3, the deck will be too slow. It won't be able to do the crazy multi-comboed attacks. So there's combos with Clemens, if they let Clemens hit. And if Zelma's in the soul, then that's pretty much they're going to lose. And if this guy's your other rear guard, then that's just even better. But yeah, Zelma is really, really good. Another key important grade 1 that I am running is the Limit Break Enabler, Euphemia. So a lot of people don't really value Limit Break Enablers as that important, but honestly, they're basically the equivalent of the Stride fodder. Now, people will argue that Stride is better than Limit Break, but really, in reality, the Stride has a stronger attack, but a weaker skill than the Limit Break skill. If you actually sit and analyze cards and think about what the skills actually do, the Limit Break skills are actually, they do more for you than the Stride skill. Now, the Stride skill is not terrible. The Stride skills, I mean, obviously the triple drive is the main thing, but the Limit Break Enabler allows this deck, especially if you're sitting on one of these two, to become a real nuisance to the opponent very early in the game, before they get to Stride, when their whole deck is basically shut down. Assuming you're up against someone who uses a GB2 Vanguard like Chronojet Dragon or someone like that. So, Limit Break Enabler, originally I was running 4 of this to ensure that I would always be able to start with Venus Luquier's skill, and then like Soul Charge and get this in the Soul Cross Ride, get that early Cross Ride defense, plus the Limit Break. But I did take 1 out to make room for a 1 card, and one of the new cards, Silver Thorn Magician Colette. So Colette is your 10k, essentially. It can be a 10k attacker, or I mean booster or attacker, doesn't really matter. This is the 10k. The only way it's 10k, basically when it's placed on R, if you have a Luquier Vanguard, you can Soul Charge 1, then if the card put in the Soul is a Silver Thorn, and in this deck it will be a Silver Thorn, this becomes 10k, it gets 3k. So this behind Clemens makes 21 on call. The only reason why you really only need 1, I wouldn't say, honestly I don't think you need more than 2 of these. So if you do only want to run 2 Limit Break Enabler, then you can run like 2 of this. But Limit Break Enabler, at least because of the way I play, Limit Break Enablers are really good. The main reason why I don't like running this is because it's a mandatory Soul Charge. It's when it's placed on R, if you have Vanguard with Luquier, you must Soul Charge 1. Like, you cannot not Soul Charge 1. You have to Soul Charge 1, so this could potentially cause you to deck out and lose. And also, the deck Soul Charges enough and can actually look through its deck and stack triggers on the bottom of the deck over time because of spamming Emile so many times throughout the match that the deck will literally be nothing but triggers in the very few grade 1 or 2s in the very late game. So one of this is really enough. It's just like a personal 1 tech card that I have in here. And of course you can always like cycle it in and out of the soul with Zelma. So, and the last grade 1 is 2 Anna. Anna is just really good for that pressure. Basically, if they let it hit, they're gonna get an extra. They're gonna get attacked again by something else. So, really good to combo it with Zelma again. So that's basically the grade 1s. It is a little unique. This 1 of in here. So for the trigger lineup, it is all Silver Thorns, 4 draw Silver Thorns, 4 of the new Dixie. So this is a super good critical trigger that they got. It's on par with the Link Joker, the Starvader trigger. Basically what it does is during the main phase, you can put on the top of the deck to call something with Silver Thorn out from the soul, and then you shuffle the deck. So it recycles itself to get you something from the soul and can cause some effects to go off, like that can make this guy gain 3k just by doing that, calling something out like Zelma, and then Zelma can combo get, you know, anything you need like Anna or whatever. So, and then 4 more critical Silver Thorns, and then the 4 heal Silver Thorns. So 4 draw, 8 critical, 4 healed. Now, I've seen a lot of people not run draws anymore. But this deck is one that can actually use draws, and the reason is because of the cross ride. The cross ride effect makes draws actually viable in this deck, so you can easily 5k block something. Because it's a draw trigger, it helps you draw into things you need. There's no stride fodder, so it can help you draw into a grade 3 or draw into a perfect guard or any tech card, you know, so, or draw 10k shield. And the starter, of course, is one of the best starters in the game. Emily or Emile, she's just really, really good. If you're up against someone who retires stuff, you use her early, check top 5, put a grade 1, 2, or 3, anything you find in the soul. Everything's Silverthorn. And then later on, with either this or the stride or whatever, you can call it out again and do it again. Keep thinning the deck. So an amazing starter. Just have to know when to play it correctly. For the stride deck, it's 2 Mystique Luquier. You only really need 2 of this. It's usually your go-to first stride or second stride. It works really, really well in here. 1 Amanda. It's not really needed, but it's in here at 1 of, just so we can run. It sets up for like Mephisto and your Magia-based stride units that are also viable. Next, the 2 Lunatic Dragon for the Lunatic play. Pale Moon doesn't have a lot of like guard restriction or restanding abilities, so this is your critical pressure turn, basically. It forces them to get rid of a perfect guard. It basically says goodbye to one of your perfect guards to the opponent. And then 1 Masked Harry, he's really good, or Masquerade Harry. He's okay in here. He's not as good as he is in the Magia decks. It's harder. What I found is that it's harder to have like 5 rear guards to get the other effect off, but in Silverthorn compared to the other decks, the Magia ones, but I mean, he's still in here. Then 3 Mephisto. Mephisto works well with Amanda, so if you stride Amanda first, that on-hit pressure, that extra soul charge or whatever, and then, or even extra attack, then she goes, then you stride Mephisto, then Mephisto flips up Mephisto, and then you've got the 2, so it's 2 Magia, so you can call a unit, and it gets 5k power. So that's the reason why, and then you can go into Mephisto again, and then Mephisto can flip up this, so we're running 3 Millward. Millward's really good in middle to late game. She is good at getting you a big field for free, basically, compared to Luquier, which really only just sets up your combos primarily to get stuff like this strong. So Millward at 3, don't really need more than 3. And then 2 Furnival, you could run 3 of this. This is your main go-to stride or G-Guardian. And the reason why I don't run Irina is because of this card. I don't need Irina in here anymore. If people wonder who Irina is, it was a grade 1 that came out with Anna. It was the one that you check top 3, search for Silverthorn. When it's placed on VRR, check top 3, look for Silverthorn, put in the soul, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So this thing already does that, so it's not really needed anymore. And you soul charge enough anyway. And then 2 Maja or Maha. This one, because I don't have Magia Vanguards, this thing will soul charge 3, so this helps fuel the soul. I rarely see myself actually using this. It's just much better in the Magia decks compared to Silverthorn, so that's why I'm saying, like, really, you only need 1 of this, and maybe 3 Furnival would probably be more optimal. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the Silverthorn, the Pale Moon Silverthorn deck. It's still probably one of my most favorite Pale Moon builds out there. It's probably kind of hard to build, though, because a lot of the cards are really, really old. Especially like the original Luquier, if you want that cross ride defense. But anyway, guys, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.